schedule yet yes.
Videos no ye who be and wabafi there is only right so wabe my enchim and I'm sure say na probably over all grounds na near the ye no how was it because before 12 no na quarterbua asem foforo and after 12 no say sati asem foforo time ben na wo and ansem ben na wotete wa around
yo we there me shira miura me shana me trans say sorry eti ana onko asoda pia or therefore ja ono enam so ono ntini eti ba bie ono nti enaja asantema mu adua ma nyina nso yenya ba bie eda nti bishira no pa na enukure na no na me wo eno a na me wo free base 10 no eba ni nyina no me akasa mo me page we friend Koko TV
okay
na yo ho no ma say fast stories na yo ho no nti yo ho no mo na news no ba say there o ma grant
injection
no e dey ato FSA
so
in fact ona na wo there do no ani che pa say because o mo say time no emwa na emre no so etia na ho mo fura buchiri baaye a o mo ye so mba be ye na in fact o hwe court nsem baaye no so asan agemre ne bebre enti say wo no mo tia buchi ho obecho o mase say wo abuchi ho na wo sere kwan say bia wo ba Ghana na so ba Africa wontimi nya mre bebre enti say wo ba mre aka na wodi ye no e wo so wo ko na wo sa akoye aduma na wo kwa wo ha ehim na wo sa agira so e de sere reference in akonya say bia wo so san ba biem enti ka enu be 3 months 4 months na time na de na ama omo ho han na o matimi asan sere kwan
e de aba
enti na ekwan bi so no na ye nyina no ye nya say ne ebetimi aboa ma adofo mu fi ho no ba e betimi akọ no makọ aboa mu yie no ma ba no be ye eye eti de gina wa ne bi mu ye interview ne video so amoso mu say na make kasa in fact na ni gie wo catch ba ko fe na abro no so ni abre pa kasa wo ho no aha na me so be kasa wo ho nti nkofo fa Opemsuo no akọvara nkofo ehwe ya omu ehun ye no be kan say o ye omani age ho afedie ebo be say 12 kobo wan ngo no ye hunie free so ye bete ba ya wo afedie e will say no judgment abanes no judgment because me dey no say court there say wo ma judgment we are judgment na obema no o ma we for the day no so office say won ti ase a ne wo ye say wo ye appeal no na appeal no ni day na taking effect
that's the wo nim no
oh sanity we ayini we are there on say the next day na me say bia court me grant so be tie wo asem but say e dana wo ma judgment ama wo mo ho asole omo ko proceedings na end enti proceedings yes san sha say biom because say another make can say rematch one mo there and I say another judgment bi wo there then na wo say lawyers no e wo ho lawyers ne koy ye frɛ wo no mo bai omo koy omo a papa shi akusobre informa ofaya poku abusuafo ano omo ye den omo mata asem ne omo nyina akɔ ko omo mi say omo wie then ya frɛ lawyers na ba na ya frɛ wi aba eti omo a no omo report omo wo ha reporters na omo ho wura court no ka say that time no omo hu abusuafo na omo de asem ne ba omo hu ba hokra ko omo nyina akɔ go omo mi so ba wi.
All right, and mema yin record nsem ne mu bebre
oh we
really enko me ne koko buy eno na me friend me were particular interest with the busewi na ma me kwan na me were questions before
sisi yem fa ne se quarter bua eye ne ekoso se ye pe o yem pe o sisi a ekoso me nim se wo ba ha ya anya ofri ho na ye den
there be one ko so nsi ho time since before you be called
and mama black musa na sem no busa they are going to show her the phone so they know him send some or black dem koko
mo akwa baby Lumba issue see is been going up and down say bi obi e che na ne de busia sem bb non part of a busia penny supported the oye e be nso mo feel say or say busia koko wo ugina he
me wo Lumba
into ujina Brendan.
Me
It's a Lumba name won't say. Obi a kasa no. Okasa based on the abusuafo na emu ache no mo ka no. Emu de na abusuafo ne ka wujitu mu se be no na ye toni a enka ye. O wa
me Lumba afa. But the minimum say asante amamre mu no say mpo obi aye bafia. Wona eye rice amika say ka rice say omo a omo ye
omo ben de wawu
maame ha ye ofase omo ben de wawu no abusua pani no on say so he akanfo ye mamre na like abusua no e different we maame we ne abusua papa we ne abusua omo donso na abusua ba ko aye den ahwe on ti die ne hunipa wu no abusua pani no mu ene omo eye one ebusa omo seye ene omo adwen afei so date on person musie omunua no anasa bi o maame ana o papa na abusua pani no ene o aye one na o nyina afa adwen baako etu obehwe mu a emra asem ne ba ha e call na sa ma ho e sa call na dade so aba e no no ade a o ka che o mu se o sere o mu o mu nko na o nyina nko fa adwen baako na o mu kakasa baako na o mu nsa amra ase o ka che abusua ni nyina no o mu nyina ye o mu nim se o mu asem ne kan ne kure enti sana minim se ye ba ye me wabusu
bi otie ant nchemu a wache nyina yete ase se ye omunko no omunko kakasa baako ba black question no obusai no sisi a no okay nyina ate ase se asemsi wabusu mo abusu no mo ben de wa free mu no mo plan mo ne mana mo ne abusu panyin adwen this is the situation abusu afanyi kasei ebusuana faso kase black person who say fine as much as all Lumba wache asante amamre ni nyina echi ni sansem mienu na ekoso no omumu hwan de na wo ha emu oduma wo
mimu de mi omu se mi Lumba no mi susu se enka ebe ya akonya se omu a omu susu wo amonone no omu su benya akonya no omu su ba de omu ba yi ni bi
koko
so ati ase omu su ebe bia na fe so se de omu ka dodo no e ka se enka
into a yin share ni mu no problem koko said ye wo dey assembly free in tam kese ba so e ma ne ba irasama hine ni mo kan ye ko ye amu yida de so ba hine so nenda o manu obesa obegya to mu se ensema ye ko ba nyina nye se bi ebia yintu a yin share da na abusua pani wo problem anasa ye ntwema yimra fie so nim say that is not the issue the issue ye say abusuani bise sebi autopsy a father de Lumba ho di nti e mani free mu no yenkoye ne fofo so onim say no na yenko attention no edi sebi abusuafo ekwirali omu bie no no mo ka se chinchina e say abusuapani sa date no so won se date too the reason nti a also won se date no unim say time koko
march ebisu gina
14 march then ade ko gina ho di nti omu de ko gina ho ne say the reason is mo person mo ye autopsy no unim say ba yera sa ma hin anim say be the ma date ni free 6 ni call 13th year because of this same autopsy say ye ma ye home say 6 na we anim a ye fa na watching to so na mo nko ye autopsy no has it been done or not say the autopsy utie de obi narration no mo nyina e kana nipa a ogina ho ma ye that the Lumba ba penny which ya boni din o we ye bi ase. It is still now if you have any contention against that, no problem. But I say munko jina ho man nkoye. It instead of focusing their attention on say yenkoye. Adena any what date ne so ba yenkoye di ntia ye pese di date ne konechi no.
Oh, that's what we call court no so we dey nsem we nyina kan. Apart from so we kan date no. Omo sa kan autopsy ni wan sa kan investigation police for no the police report no e kan control no me ba. Ekoto lawyer nanim, judge nanim. Judge ne hweye no na ke de no judge ne ka so ampa wo se ampa wo ye investigations no omo tiase no omo nye sa omo hwe omo nye investigation dey ewie entienu nti no o tu fence asem no e dey ahye fence 15th January omo samra den na C1 esa ba esa fedie
the all can nyina
ya I do not see fence 15th January no momra ne yen ka asem no yen kwa asem no akasa so no afedia asesa sa afedia da bi na kwa ka asem no fence 15th January no afedia ko ne akọ yayi fence bod na mabuso pani onkonko yayi
unim se black my pato mambusa no we ani di ma mesra me bisa unim se te se de wo kan nyina etasum say you be kwa autopsy na yetimi aba be an investigation ekoso ne ade nyina eye na initial na date ne 6th of December ena yesesa no ena yesesa no okay but my question na me person me busa ne say thinking of say yesesa date no in terms of ahoho a na sa ma no for eso mo ba no what of ekaso ana abusua ne di kan abo because definitely say okay so obey we on the 13th menya sure so obetena ho atwen say court case wo ho ntino o twen me abu asam na ansa no why won totoye definitely totoye bi be den ebekoso wa udi adanse say before what do you call it mo ombebu asam no court no na mo ho kra na nhyehyɛ ye den ekoso I wish think obetimi answer mama ebi abonti obetimi answer mama on the
interlocutory injunction eto no so no you see where Coco is getting it wrong and they say initially the injunction is not a ruling. Injunction is put on something to stop chaos. Inti say basa ye koso no the injunction after so say yen halt decision ni nyina then after that the judge was sat down with the both parties no what tie the ekoso obi a be presenting the case am ya hwehwemu yie nti me sure say cause we release na omudi free court oba na after say the injunction that so I can say the next time I be tena asem so be May 5th January no that was an injunction, it wasn't a ruling. Nti obi a san de the case ni ba na yesan hwehwe evidence ni mu nyina wie ni hu so abusuapania make preparations nti na ekoba na saa e de ka na aye den ababa
yeah
then probably be a lawyers ne be wuram akwa say o e ka abade a ene say na yi na o say den yeah and then which the law rightfully say e ma ho kwan say e ka abade a ene before say be a injunction ne betimi aye adwuma no ese say yetua e ka bi sei
eto
ho say de be a e betimi aye because the ekanya aba nipa na akọ han omone oma odi ba be ye ni nyina untimi meka nkyerɛ mo sɛ eyi na enya ama so nti bia wo ka mentua na bibi sei
yeah
internet sɛ de na black cry e ka no sɛ wokɔma obi bill cry na yɛkɔ court ho no mo a ɛwɔ sɛ wokɔ a wodi sika yɛ den ɛkɔ na watua bill no within that short possible time na but you see where the case took the twist and say time a wode ma plaintiff ni say omo emra no omo fa omo sika no emra na me no na time no aha na is too short. It was too short into no me sure say e ho na dey adeba but you see there is a difference between injunction and ruling into yente and on asesa nti e honom na em say I take it twist akoko ente ase
yeah yenye law yi obi beka say ruling no black bit babam ruling no ene ede ebeme yam say ye the injunction to so ana say yam to so ana
say ye pass judgment me de me san si ade no so say e free na cross say na court me see
that is judgment
that is judgment but we say okay a temporary you hold it on
okay
you hold it on kakra say kakra but before say you be hold it on permanently no I just say motua bill we see ansa na ade na me ka no edimu
yeah
any amount of conditions say mon kona mon kofa sa sika na ye dey preparation ni nyina etena ye be ye ni nya dey emra which of course omo ntimi meet deadline no nti no you see the bottom line is the legend is tired and needs to rest. Friday ne buy na me ne black edin komo de na black ne e ka nyina ne say ade nti na ye nkosie papa no ma ne nyina home na ye nkotwe sa amanso yi nyina wa akiri you can wait na ye betwe kra mana kwa akosisen enu say na wo kase ya na obi nti ase o ye betwea mana kwa akosisen he is no more nipa na obre ne sabi obre ne japade ne nioma ye twe ho daawre ne ye twetwe kwa ha ne fa ha nyina the person is no more. Into me dear, to me, I am very happy he is going to be to rest today. And they ever see na managing home. The bia or shaho na say oh pressure cry nipa na no one tie and kwadana no muhunu de bia na ade no. These things will go a long way to hunt the kids.
The kids.
Oh, they bia nipa ofi enkra na bi susa o. the bia nipa wo fie ho and then when they are coming
a question na person busa na they are so ama president
me say like really me like me say any education before we go into the question so we go can say be yin na yin sua de wo ho say court no e kan asem no e declare say yemfa injunction into so na osa free or mobile chambers na be dia asem no because all can be say na ebusuafo eni ho bia eni ho ma me ncha de memra mu so ho judge wo ho kwan say waka asem bi wo court wi a offer a lawyer for a say bi omu gina ma afa ne mienu no ekọ ba bi e friend say chambers na oni omu kodi nkomo esa afa ho Ghana mrani mu no practice directions for determination of applications for injunctions to restrain burial of a deceased person we ye mra da ho ma say wo de tabo okoto emu so a mra wo say judge ne wo mbese me kan kaka ni sua de hunu say enye se bi judge ne bo ni trim eno oyeye na de ba ko mu ne say se wo de tabo beto se bi emu hu so a mra ne say e wo se oma omo be ye yie no at least 14 days notice say 14 days to date o ma hye se omo be ye yie no se bi wada wo abo ami gogo emre ben na sasem we call seke Accra High Court no ejuade ya na mebo in do week thank you enti mrane say me am kan say am ne hu mrane say e wo say asem no aka be 14 days to bury anese na wotwe mienu am ya ye
lawyer black call
ansana wo de akokot ama se bi o say ko pay injunction ato so se wo de asem ne ko na aka less than 2 weeks to the burial na court won ho mra se otokone a won fi na emum se e bia bibi kese bi won ho nti a yen fa the Lumba case nye example se that the Lumba abobra se bi o legend ntina court ni mpo fi asem no in the first place and kenye sanka 14 days na say mato man to the court me kwa akune but then the clause ashan ho say
because of preparation wo ho nti
there be party to be
omo ye no preparation omo di kan ye nti na
14 days 14 days enti amane sa wi na amane sa chewa ka che say 14 days wo a wo be pay injunction dia to so no as all back court na e wo say wo ye wa adwen say se bi ye be boka because ebusuan na ye ntotoye in the case of say a less than that no ebusuan na dikan ye ntotoye leading to the burial no enti wo court no say bi lawyer for be ka che ensem wo ho mo kwa kodi ana mo kwa kokoka na bi okope bela mo obi a o lawyer wo ko office no odi kan ka che ebusuan for say hey montro check of e bi about 5 million Ghana cedis nkura cause judge bitima ka che say wo be pe bela ma asomasi ma share asem die na say by the time am wi asem die no na what you eska say enye sa me wie na me de ma ben bo say pamma sorry a bail condition me mfa ma enti ya de a lawyer for ne a judge fu nyina anim in this particular case judge court na ho no eye say bi yemfa injunction into so without considering the fact say abusuafo aboabo mo ho mo be ye no fatu tim say court ho no enye Lumba abusuafo fane nko an ko you Car bank for Mujiji Ska Lumba account to Honey de Omukuhubi. It's answer Hona account to there was also an injunction that was being placed on account of one Jiska Gumuno. The mama really near the acquire transitions, baby, and that's a Lumba mu or no most Yamoko to be say a bay or moon jai a moon ma a busia penny to almost some record to Mambiti a seminar air cosono because an entity a busia. Penny na we are making not in support of Abusia Penny, but we emra a man and person say what happened no enya the mono esida it court to judge general ho kan say say Abusia say asema amode aba some more seremre yen twen kakra na autopsy na Abusia fo e wo hwan ni ma no problem say bi Abusia Penny so ko gyan no so kan claim so no problem but then ye we come on for yourself Abusia Penny say obaji ska omo say dia han canopy na sefo omo say pin transition Abusia Penny abebo ma no say e da say oba be yi amunti bia days before omo prepare omo say pin enti ho no there was supposed to be a compensation set for Abusia na
e ka no mo bond e also be no tria
thank you ba kasa ni yemu no asem we yankasa o senki e di no 14 days before a yida no exceptional cases enti ena yefi enti said judge ne ka almost sorry assembly so 12 no ka say by 2 p.m. or ka ya offer mo go into chambers oni a lawyer for obi obeka se na busuafo ni obi a na oboa sɛ bi a lawyer fo ne gyina hɔ ma abusua a lawyer fo ne gyina hɔ ma abusua fo
chambers de abusua ne kopede
na
nipa na wo de emu dia sɛ obɛwɔ hɔ
ɔmo kɔ court dem hɔ kra no abusua ni bɛ na ate sɛ yɛsɛ wɔ kasa ya ɛnyɛ lawyer no na lawyers na kasa ya abusua fo ekɔ gyina hɔ sɛ nyɛ judge a lawyer bi na frɛ obi bɛ gyina adaka mbusa na sɛm a woyɛ abusua ni na ate ɔkra wo nka hwee agye afro o lawyer fo nti na ɛsɛ fo asɛm kɔma a lawyer no bɛ kama
yɛnkɔ wa pɛ sɛ ɔyɛ lawyer
yes yɛnkɔ constitution na menkan saa phrase nkyɛw practice practice directions for determination of applications for injunctions to restrain burial of a deceased person 2024 na saa mmara we buy you or say head the neighbor bese me kind baby ima authority over the deceased corpse. The corpse of a deceased person is under the control and authority of the family, which includes both the immediate and the wider family members. It's a ubetimi the akosia bempo ma immediate family. Then ebusia penu the financial wider family, no problem. B no say the family bears the obligation to arrange for a funeral that reflects the deceased social standing and the family's dignity, as established in Nikwe and another versus Oko or the Ashehono. Not Ababa Bechel proceed no no. Application should be made promptly with clear evidence supporting the necessity of the injunction. It is high and if I say the immediate family call you muko chirichiri mu one yepese a year autopsy ntina ye bepe two busuafo ni bi wa amano ne yepese o mo ba nti ho etiase b no say application ex parte brought less than 14 days to the scheduled burial and funeral arrangements shall not be entertained by a court except with extremely compelling reasons. Say o de assembly basa say o be pay injunction atu ayi so a e was say o de ba 14 days to mena e be ye no say one farmer within that before 14 days now the bar I was say court ne tokune kra the before music shall not be entertained by a court except say asema e wo ho no say bi so wo emu odua ti Lumba case say bi wa bra or ya nine what you say or ya nine enti it's exceptional situation enti afi court ni be fee because of exceptional situation no court notice to the opposing party should be given unless there are compelling reasons for proceeding ex parte to ensure fairness and an opportunity to contest. The attorney say ebi wo ha ebi injunction asem kan mu sikino wo Burkina Faso na ebusua ne wo Ghana enti say on say ebi wo ha untimi ebusua ne ntimi free Ghana ma Burkina Faso enti mane ma ho kwan say ebusua fo na ntimi ama court betimi mpo akọ ama injunction enti na asem bi wo ha wote a obi say many obi wa asem court man ko obi but ye the injunction atoso na ye the abese ye the abrel esida but in this case ebusua ne benti e be ye afi no call 4th point or say considerations for granting of injunction to restrain burials when you mu a ye de kwahye form asem no kan or say one courts must exercise caution and prudence in granting injunctions to restrain burials, particularly when applications are made less than 14 days before the scheduled funeral services. Koko wasa de aba say nioma ye hwa ansana ya mobi ho kwan say ye de taboato ayi so asa kire wo say court no eno emra no akoshin court ne say mo ya munhwe yi se obi di asemba na wendi 14 days ne so on said court na ma ho kwan say 14 days ne be exception into ma ho kwan wo so ro ba wo ba se no sa say court e munhwe yi se o di injunction be ma obi ana asem no one found by 14 days earlier to the burial na or the bar monhwe ni ye na monhwe so nka cost a cost beba enti the nas wa wo de assemble 14 days before a year no wo ye dia eni e de hwe say ye ne nko wo de bar less than 14 days eni e de kan wa asem ne nko
but what this is the case here omo wie na omo kwa asem no so no judge na ma omo nyina consign e fe se do omo sa ko share krata say a kapa omienu nyina na etua ohun sa yi no
no problem by enti mra no nti mame nkomani second b no say the inconvenience and expense imposed on the family preparing for the burial often outweigh the potential harm to the applicant if the injunction is granted. Moreover, the loss experienced by the family cannot be adequately compensated in damages. We or say sabi hawa ebebemu ene ka ebeba ebusua na eboaboa ne ho no sabi emu duro no e o se ehwe because eno ebu ha na emu so hawo ne so chen the open injunction
okay.
So who the habia enti an nyina court na question no okwa no asaba say trial courts are reminded of the paramountcy of timely and respectful burial rights and should refrain from granting injunctions that prevent such practices unless this is compelling legal justification. Wasabo koko say court say high court here ko yi mo afia mo bedi asem no mo san hwe yi cause emre no ene se bi ebu ewo ayi yomu no we ye constitution asem na kan yo o se emra ene ebu ewo ayi yomu no enti se court ne grant injunction omo hwe ni yi because one ha damage say de beba de oye yi no so no ebe so no do part e me den pa me se me dru ho where an application is brought less than 2 weeks before scheduled burial. Such application ought to be refused unless there is a compelling reason to grant it, including adequate undertaking as to damages that may be occasioned due to disruption of pre-arranged burial rites and funeral activities. Gogo, most of you go ha. Most of us thank you. It's a house as I some now can say almost an undertaking. It comes in here do. But court and so catch us say. No adequate undertaking as to damages that may occasion due to disruption of pre-arranged koko ni media dance say a certain before assembly court no na can no pisa abon stadium na do saying
so
these are and how was about mind because of
argument na we I saw fair enough say obey Jane ma bia that to say preparation course and way back there because no require dey ekasa e mo ye sa agreement no and they make am boa same say police the police be no so mama
from announce na fake kan wo dey enti no say court na say di kan granting injunction no wanye boni bia but then also court ne so nye boni say
osaba na
chi ka kire o mo say semi granting injunction dia clause amede to ho ye say damages ayaka ho asemi no e wo say modi bibi beto ho
2 million
so no it court me nya enti ase say court ne so anya boni
court ho ana say wo be ma wo
omo je to court
asa na just no granting
yes
say net
say kaka bi ba omo ni say scan da court ho na bi
na kokotua enti betima ba say o say right me so wadaro ebetima ba say sa omo court dem ho no say me kan say na car bank for one when you won and found say be abusia penny cra one body say e be medical tuawe 2 million Ghana cedis na mo kan say ma kan han ni o ma ye say ntika bi wo ho ti court na de na adwen bebu etwa bo obi it is 15 day omukwe e na say be mazenka omunyae e na court na granting omuko 15 na
e ho na omuko bu aponta
penny say 30 na de share na me di injunction to so awantimi anye no e kasa na wo boye
no wa cheche ka
ansa na wa o kire mu wi ansa na wa beti 2 million na court no ade ato ono ni futuo mu no wa beti mu say 2 million be pepper de amane say ne o ka boni ni eje afi yen kan asem no se lesa obeti eno de ama no owi ano sa de aka ma omo ba
look at the time what they are the moment so metua de
so dem na me say
o nipa no
na me say
two
koko
ma me mo aka
nobody says he can say that
koko
okoban the cross
uche the whole thing say on say black kind so uche ni you say emra na kire say before say e beji asem bi say kura tum o court no
just a 4
e say we di kind ba 14 days to a year
yeah you say one of the years
exactly yeah the point bi ba
no to man kan kire wo
omuni what is
eno na say
omuni say I was 14 days
14 sentinel say lawyer no so no penny sika ono adwuma na oye
I don't know why
I can't right lawyer adwuma ne say lawyer adwuma ne say when you asem na okwa defend o sometimes o kan asem che lawyer na he is aware say ade na why no defo but he is going to aid you for a fair trial.
Emrakrasi se wuni sapa for follow lawyer na aban ne sam boka udi for pass so any lawyer ne dey also wuni. Aban be fato no so am lawyer.
Mind you that time na dey kokosi here no. On say before the final judgment here bebe they change their lawyers. On some lawyers.
Romantic no.
They change them.
Sir, me I think say no they
we don't come.
So let's go akra no na mo so ebe
About Kumasi.
no, so listen, me miss case no. Kumasi case no. It's different from
we mu there.
That is it. Lawyers now representing Kumasi case. They change them to different.
no, they didn't know.
Kumasi case no.
Listen. Boys wa me so na ka o
It's about kuna.
Kumasi case no. Mami akosia sewa e na kofa lawyer.
Sir.
Accra case no. Mami akosia brempoma. That is Lumba near.
So what they koko can say omoya aware say 2 weeks before ansana
the lawyers for sure they were aware.
Yeah, aware, but you see until say obedi wachi do akọ for a fair trial we call na ko te ase no no ehunu say there was that
14 days no na say di paro timi.
But black sometimes
kena hu say 10 days na mo kwakọ ya ade be so a eso o kesi wo advance
Jabuti tobo black time
so before that be kono
ni ya na nka manu koko
before we dey ade be kono wo nim say days na ewu mu
chairman otie to every rule there is an exception
and na me kan
and na o kan wo sisi
even though 14 days ni so ya ultimate the court na court na dwene ho. In this case a exceptional case because nipa na ye kan ho asem no wa bo bra wo man
black ya bamba Lumba de no ntia nti de ntia lawyers ne efo aso ma yes sister the court ne say oh Lumba di mu to say the black can nti ye kwa court ne be gi atena so but what I say no matter asem na ye den aka nti court ne de wa gi atena so no wo lawyer no ni judge ne team to be able to say ebi o ma time frame for skabi say the ba ebe isi and ebe isi that's what I say
it's adisuade e wo ho ne say gogo adisuade e wo ho ne say say wo court akopɛ tabro de ato especially we here kan wasemi ye I say wo bua wo humpoko say wa asem no esa ye less than 14 days amrana ma ho kwan na wo kono tamofie sika nyina so a ti bo na wotu ya
me bo ne say sebenua you adwin ya na say gatis ko mo nka so timbu o be say kalisika 10 billion to mo say in case bi o mo boy na mo twa bi kwa o
kama sana injunction
o mo twa bi o
sana injunction
na o ka say the rest no so dey
sana injunction
say bi se mo ho a eno na wo lawyer ebetimi a fight say oh okay court see 2 million
o twa say
about 2 million no o metimi a plead amana ba from
okay
but what I say so we know what so aboa ho I say o ka de
me tie wo baby na lawyer ni a ogina mu ma me akoso abempoma I think oni Ola Michael edin komo na o ka se owo ya okakra wo ni mu fi se onim se bi omo kan se no ye se de nya anim no 12 no mu nyina pie ena nani ba no so na lawyer keto a o ka ne ho na lawyer on ne call ye no e friend se judge a phrase nyina ye ma chambers practice se mu ko a judge mi frɛ mu enti omo ko we ho na court ne de to o manim se e wo se nka ebi o 2 million Ghana cedis to ho no enti lawyer na so ne how ne say sa asem no se before the judge ne be ka ho asem no emre wo ho ne se e wo se obi na eka enti ema se nko mu gina court na judge ne ka asem be injunction na to so na on kan 2 million nka ho no na wo se
obi objective
eka se any judge ti o de koko ya be o de ba na wo se ono ne the claim why
lawyers in the house
I was nka o de obi ne raise ansa na judge no se bi wa second and answer wa fo aso in this case ne de lawyer for akoja performance say entisa enti na wan wa se judge ne call so yes but then adisuade e wo mu nie yes akọ ye chikoko hwe mmara ni mu a wa asem na wo de ba no even less than 14 days enti boni beka se privileges bi e wo se nke ye diu mu no
you don't have it anymore
munni kura bi wa asem no exceptional na abehye ho no na ama judge ni mpo etiewu o se ye obi se wa asem ede na wa asem nye de ye se de na asem ede no ye tie ni ye me adwena me di ko
ase we be ti ase ya technicalities no bi na abiti
but no so na ye chere say lawyer ni bia ni ho a wonim se okope injunction de ato emu so especially nowadays no ye less than 14 days o say wo boa wo
na bia ni wonim sa de
de ne de mpo ye bosome ni mpo no o asha da boa no depending on how asem ne so obi a ani abrese wo twema so
na ba
Asi mi koko kura meto atoma.
Eti wo lawyer se wo dum ade ya. Edi enti be sikwa so kan se ko so ade we amko pesa mu ye die.
There be koko kura kan tia se wo kokura kan wonim obi be ka tell say
Ebi so ano ka kira mo so se yen kokko.
Na me che say obi be ka obi kura be fan tia be ka tell say o emre ne de cool but exception bi wo ho unya te na da utirim a
eno ana de be ye adwuma.
Wo be ka se o
yanko try hwe.
Ampa so se bi omko ye ena efa first one he say ye di injunction na momu omu pie won ani gya na aba obi agoma mu enti keka ho a
Ye himbo se.
keka ho a senka lawyer no so ye be ka se bi waya ade ba we ye mra so na me pa che we ye mra emra de eye se bi ye ra chame kwaku usu o say law LAW full meaning here lie and win. I said law full meaning here lie and win cause court them ne there enye yen cat 2 meaning you twantro na fa dibem say be ye rafi asante ne na mu ye ram no otenase a say be ode mra any 2 mi ekasa na ye ra 2 mi mpokoko you witness it say sante hini wo 2 mi ni nyina wo na nso yetimi di asema na obi gina nche no apagya ne sa on ka ho kra on ne say nya hwe akwa na apagya ne sa no ma
Yentie no.
ye betie ne bi wo ha efa kwa mu
Efa kwa
bi
mu.
wo ha efa kwa mu ni nyina ye ra se nya hwe mo ma ne nkasa okwa onkoko enti mra ne de se wo boa ho se wo ko mra nim ani obi akwa kotwe man so wo mmasa bi na asante hema court onfa ma ye ra nim ukuro mo hene onfa nkɔ ne ho onko ka ne ntam onfa Ghana court dia the possibilities of say wo beti ahwe ne dozo the possibilities say wo be win ne dozo ni nyina mu you need to be prepared for whatever comes
But in fact, black what some of the two guy me ni ajibu because we say tie for so any beji
Pa.
obi a wo tie bia be hu say judge no onye bia onye
esi da
and I won one na dia wo can say na was a for 2 cases no kura akure before kura
asase no kura
But on so to twene so a kagana.
come for because I want
Exactly.
Say yen mra ne nkyere wa oni tin
yeah the kwabi so no me fi say the black chichi with the say kwabi so no
ye ma papa no kwagina home ye ma kwagina home
Riley ka se me enra me kan ye say sabi me so a me ba fi aba be so me mfie na bi wo mu de but kakra mahu amasua ne say yewura kana several times say sabi se manso ba abusua bi mu na emu wo mu amahu bebre yewura ka kire abusua say monko yi emu no na mompe ne krabre mu wi a momra na asem ne yenka koko mimi nyansa ne mi susu yemu na mende kan de na mimi gina ne say sabi o ohene ba intimo so the papa bi oba UTV the oheba list yes and some o kan nyina wo betima debate me ni problem but the o kan me dey come asem yes say o see over the years Lumba when a health recorder say bi yare bebre na aba na akwa mu say bi papa na mu nya 60 good years ogina nipa dom anim kan say yare bi abeba ne ho na sefo ne bu na wonnim mpo say obenya say view it I'm using that premise say ye nim say bi papa yi bra wa boy say bi ni munyam ode abro man Ghana Lumba hu ye sisi akwa Apple Music ko Ghana ne chat oda so chat meaning say bi enye say ne nipadua ne nko a nsem a na oka na woni nwumu no ekoye nyina ye mu enti ya ye papa ye fan say what he has gone through koko mintimi nka ba wo tin nsem ni bi e free say bi na a few years down the line if you are timu ne nipa na ewo ho ana omo sosu ni mu a omo catch what they've gone through handling papa na emu kura no what they've gone through a koko you would wish say be o free mu na no abusuan nyina nka
the kambom no mon kra na chikama
bebre kana eye no nya fe na sefo mu nyina no problem obia woni view eye nyame no mukure ni if you look at it very well Lumba deserved more
than this.
The aye doesn't mean say so any. But Lumba deserved more. But then yes, and who be ain't na shasi no. Some of us were angry. Say the immediate family near Busia Penny or no Biano, why they were fighting over us.
Because honestly, the man really deserved times 10 of what is going on.
Yeah, papa despite more yasi. Sabi despite the way born a bread onimo kura onimo sebi enye wo medi wo wachi asino medi abusuani bi achi ema na sebi na mo perform but yes to waba because the man who was laid in state onimo mfaso e won so
mostly he was distributing
on nipa of you call the bread more the can
distributing
una wo campo
ama so distributing some of the album
and me also feel and I'm penny for man and for na champo o fra man ne buy because of adi we yeah dwene nipa en fan say omom entimi amba what about the otimi buy en so
exactly. That was my point. Say ye train begin na make say ye train say we ntimi mba we beba as human as we are, there will be circumstances definitely koni nyina e be happen. Say ye ka say bi ntimi mba ask yourself say ye twam so almost fa plane by ye
omonso e
mpacha what you say rightfully said say abrochi ope enkrata aba Africa na say bisa ubedi mreka kra e say okona koye adwuma se ne be ya ope bi ma obeba sisi almost buy almost way obi by purposely say bi cry yeah papa ye nti no
ticket na ofri akra ba kumase cry
but 25 million
na yeah papa kempo always Lumba yeah papa kempo I mean ka we na koko to us yeah papa kempo asemi ba ye koya nya hu videos and pictures okokosra yeah maami akosi asewa wo Germany e be na je Lumba studio wo nyina etwetwa mfonyini ye hunu se woko se bi odobro ni ho enti se de obi obedwene bibi adwene bibi no problem ba ye hwe se na Lumba da se bi owo kete so a ye de to amama nsare kempo na ba Lumba mai ba be mateneka front
oba no so kra
enti regardless of say ye mfa ne se kempo mpokra any efwa akosu asewa sumpo a na on fi odobro ni a ene kuna fo hu na tie yipa so ana kempo ntra ne baby it mean that was me you say regardless of whatever has gone on enke busuan be ye baako
enti so black video say koso ye maame akoso asewa ni ase
debi ene ko ene data makoko ba
na ene maame musa no
koko say na obe ye yi ne
me ba cho
koko video maame ko he right ko wo me ha ba
ye maame akoso apempo ma so ni o
ewe mama
wow
ana ofoya koko ama papa shi ama ho ana abusuafo de obi bia nu a obai na de make kan say
ayi wo ho Faustin abako no
Faustin so de o ye so de one kasa wo ha na so ha but no be ehun say ore de
odini mi aba pa yin echi
Dr. Kweko otin echi asisi
oji o efese onua na echi de o mu ni say Lumba o mu se wa bre Lumba 1993 na the problem na start Lumba the problem na start for the terrain when your accident I was Asante Achim that yeso
koko Mike me wana na pia ha na
when your accident I was Asante Achim that yeso na sa accident no na o isu odi na sa odi no udu baby a Asante Achim that yeso baby a omo ede boys na de enam ta ko race ne so
yeah
mutare nam ko jejina ho na oduru horo na amana da ho nto we na de se ogina na we otro amene no mu asan pi to ogina ye na otro amene no mu ena kagoka a wafa ne me free soro ho ede be board to e ma ka ne tintin be se no e mo ama ne che hu mi se
wow
enti omo anu omo wasante achim da de so no mu fi say nipa otika nu ai dey na omo che say nkana ko bi tika na chi a
nkana nipa ne bewu
on so le kura
yeah
enti o si ye no mu so bi be ma tuntum bi esi form ana be ma bi a no wo chocolate wo si form a ai e friend say ai wo ye jelly sami wo ye sami wo jelly wo so no wo ye jelly wo si form wa na ne buofu na so wo si form no the way I want me and say was na watching no mu sa de na kama it wo yi pese wo ho na mem ko an ka nipa na de ka na ngo so otutu wo so what I say enti Lumba de ni program ni nyina na chiri kasee no ene ko fa program we nyina ye de ebre Lumba ene nu achiri nso yare fofo sa de be ka ho ene Lumba ona on say na chiri kasee ni ntino e ma ne koye obi a asa onu mu mo ene nu nso so onu mu no akwa animu a ada say obenye diabetes ana obenye ada yale nso ayere abeka ho eti eno ena kofa Lumba pro
Ko kan se bia ya
Lumba de nsi wa bread de wa bre pa na enso no na ka bi mi free say enka abusua no ene abusua pani aka Tupac omo beka one akusa bempoma ne fosina fosu no omo maka ni beka omo bom na omo ya yie no kama but say ekoye say ase abusua pani no waye no ho autocracy so ka asem say ya de waka no upo eno ana we so na emna ko say date on the 6th the 1st December no starting na no mo ka so omo sere sisa date no omo kan omo no nsem nyina da omo ansa date no until say san ba nana mo a nana mo ka so omo de 1 week e den e to so but eho no me da bia me penokre eho no na me ne akosia bempoma ne omo no mo so e problem if we say mo ba ye no nana no mo say omo de date no na wotwepe e to so eho no bobu nkurudwe mapa ajona esremu na wotwepe de ebe ha yen so na anti na mo nye ni say mai
eho no bon na no man ka say omo de enfane say na wotwe tusu enkomo ne koye say sebi ye omo di asenwie hu say akosi asewa semtama okan ne yentam hu abusia penis na no be ye mienu wo na no manim etanu no ye mienu ne say abusia penis na wanya amane wobetwa dwan akosi abempoma ho so ntam na okan no entam hu no yemfa sabi yeru antam kese ento emu so enti wanya amane enti muntwa dwan baako we nye mienu npo na yede hia to ho won yeso mo kwa na yeru achamsi o ene abusia penis kwa sa wo fase any akosi abempoma enti ene wa akoto ni mienu ko
ema no
enti nkasemu no kasemu ena yeru ajeme se o se mo se mo pekwan akoye autopsy yebusa abusia penis ka se oni ho problem bia se ni akrombe so mo koye a okwa obefre omo transition for obefre no na wa makwan na o maye nti yeru achame ka sani nsusiem no yesese impose yemfa na wotwe mpo nka ho from emra kokura me chose yemfa ne se me kai date ne wo ba yemfa ne se sa asem a za me na ne yeru a nana no mo ka no sa man no yemfa ne se na date ne ye asem kan November 15th so ena first date ne 6 December enti nsusuyemu na osese from 15 feet to 6 se emu etia ene opekra yemfa na wotwe enka 6 ne ho eti se every 15th ne nko do 13th no na wenya kwan aye autopsy na ye nsusuye me na ya wantwi Mr Black come to Opemsuo so na me gina obi asem a yewura no mkan ni
and I think
nsusuye se ada ne yemfa na wotwe nka ho se bia mo benya mmere aye the autopsy
and I think say enokra omo gitum emra I'm realizing finest
famous dasi asema wo pack eda na no wasa na no dasi so at least so na no wetie o masem in the first place it am person na free o dasi
one way or the other I just feel like either one of the parties just want to prove a point
boy we're crying
oh interview na ebu amagba
yamma no ne yesore so na the interview na shim
you're crying
any better your pep cramp na
you know ko challenge
okay
say aye na maso a me metutuntuma na mabaye wa habla bibiensia se baso a ene mesa kwakochia abusopani Tupac mama say mo pia for ya de na ko man mo pia o ofre no onu di nkoma na no nkoma akoda na atemdidie and they go yi ano na ehwo no ka ho ko de problem o mu yi ano no ana ehwo na efense abusopani Tupac ebe ka kire na so aba say yesi yi no bra be ye chairman ne mo yanka say bra be bi say musika sem ene ho anwan wo ante sa asem no then in the yes mensia ya no my den o my no me no mo ya adwen so my platform nsa enti fa wo so una woni recording ye wutimi ye recording ne koma obi wo US dia e dey fa ye no ma funu fa koma no e wo US wo na ne so obato to awie so oba no awie ne ko afi de fie no awe se so do say ye mo pani kofo e na do so oba no so oba biem enya ade say mo pani fa say mo pani otiso yi e ma hama obeba and we betu we yam ni say so omra eso ka first na wo yi ga say onu mu be ba na ma occasion na den aye kama je say abusopani ene nkofo mu ho no omo ni mo ya ma yiri mu de eko eno na ma mpanifo ewo ayiru no obi a so den atwom ho den afu na me ayem gonwa Abuso Penny, Lumba Tias one and Kasa. A record at the hall. I could have been Pomano will be doing what dance said. Charles Tias and then Kasa. It's didn't me what Jim. I was a Poma or by court no Kobe.
I was up for Coco Necasano Coco and some more Ocado. Where are they? Okay. And I never. Some more kind of 18 levels of high of him so 4.7. No go on my last words now. Your interview Fia say. Brapping. Or last words ni sorry.
The last word now me dey say bibia no enchechire mu wom. Ohwe black and someone or there to Ghana. In fact, I am yi pa. Ana enchechire mu ode aba no. If say obi a o hwie otie asem yi na afi so obi a na dwem kese ne bia be hu say oh ade no kwa say ka wo sha ase before kura ansana. Date no ma hye so be yi na eden aduro. But I me say we no nyina antimi amaso. Na me bremu lawyer na oho ema wo na ese ko kire wo say ade we say ye kwakọ testing grounds no ese pe musika eden eto na e
ho de me na o ya adwen
it's in case say ska sam bi bamu a mo betimi nyi ska na eden e dey wa say ka emla court wo ka say twia fa say 2 million na wo 1 cedi na the to ase a wo twia bi wo mo no loko no eti de enu ti ma kwan ba
ola scratch me fight
yes eti ma ko fa de aka na eden eba. But I never say no money bibia or that time money sa ahoboa ntino ene ma we nyina eden e ba we nyina Lumba asemi e you say o cheme me say aye bi e na me so me say me nyi ho a minim de be
exactly
so me jo me enti yes
nye yi ho ma ye nye yi asumi
ko so je say asem bi asia
keke mi o say e bi siade o e di say in case ebi tu de minim ko me fa so me ya de
ko aye
o say
to aye kuku to aye
boys they say am fa class
eto mi nye yi okay eti me da etiefo so ase e na omo so e oba bia o mo ti so Opemsuo de ye CNN e wa santima mu ase mu
pia
munya bom se ba ko bia beti na me che o tiefo so ade message o mo se omo a se bio omo ja omo na omo mo ja fe so omo koko omo me ma problem no e ye heba na me ye eti woni e bia na pese o frame am no man 0241 740609
yensi so bi
o frame no man 0241 740609 me chi akwan so eni a chire ye first K Poly get 3 ya asemu ya parking so
side one fa bia ma
oh very unfortunate once black no ni madru but mo ha dem se mo chere ni madru nti de ma ya ni se Opemsuo radio de me mo ni nipa medical no makasa wa fidie so se bitimi hwe na mo bi adru no madru meseda e de adru na ya den aba mo se mo ye mema di mema adru a na ko pe because Lumba say well trigger man Lumba well trigger man ah de o ni mo no wo de kwa me yim sisi ama but makra mankrofo na makra na ekono aro ni eguso so sawi
sayari all right let's go
it's a aro obi o fe bia no so no me say wo beta from WhatsApp and beta from normal call abuchire for especially me ye delivery ma omo wa abuchire ni omo wo baby bia wo frɛ bia me je wo so me ti me fa me call obi en fa me call into the friend now no money 0241 740609 0241 740609 me social media handle here Coco TVGH
Coco TVGH
on YouTube so Facebook we dey offer me baby bia mo bia meje o so na ma
all right ebusia for high up in 104.7 no video nko so nda ha ye twa ho ye ba we have another guest in the house
Baba Bedin Komo. It's been a while. He was here not long ago. He didn't come. So I want to start with but we ended the conversation you know some time back now. Then we get to know what's up. But Nubeka said he sleeps now that we are having the conversation. Welcome, Wakwaba. Bibi Aboko there. Nice one. The last time you came here, you didn't come more. We went into your live, your music session, and then all that. We went back.
I think it's a year.
Yeah, it's been a year.
It's been a year.
Wow,
yes.
wow. I think that time now our record we out. What was the title of the song?
So it was actually an EP.
Okay.
That was Luna OCA.
Okay.
So that was 2024.
Okay.
After CUE school, basically.
Okay.
So that was it.
Luna was here.
Was
how well did it do? I mean, started with the distribution market, and then two, say appealing to people. How well would you say it did?
So I think Luna OCA was my major project, especially in the form of as a EP and as an album. So ever since it has been my biggest, milestone project. Clocking over maybe approximately, if I'm supposed to add it right, probably like 300,000 streams across all stores. Audio Mac, we are doing so well. That was about 200k, and combining the other stores to basically around 100. So it has been my biggest project, and with the promotions and everything, I think that's particular project in them. A lot of people, got to know. Say I have this unique, sounds there. So basically,
Okay. For the numbers wise, I said the 1K, people will say it's huge numbers. You get people, we could say what generated and then all that. But putting that aside, you as in it being your music career and then all that, how would you say AB has shaped you, and I say has it changed your mindset that you had before having that EP? And I say you say the mindset you had before creating that EP, improving it in your account. Has it changed your perspective, or you still that project? I'll say let me do the EP, let me release other songs as we go.
Okay, so initially the expectation for the EP number drop was about maybe my crackers, it was about maybe 50 to 100,000. That was it in the that space now.
Okay.
I say over maybe a year downwards, but basically maybe some projects now and maybe one more than mommy, you see that thing. But after the EP, I've seen so many changes, and at the same time, it's giving me a different perspective towards my music, giving me the different kind of sounds, different kind of ideas, different kind of perspective, the places I wish to be, because expectations are not made penal, abroso.
Okay.
So on say if you are doing something and you're expecting maybe less, and you get more, it builds that kind of your faith and that kind of momentum. It gives you that kind of pace, and they said then you can do more. So me, I feel like currently I have a lot of things yet to come.
Bringing out the songs, making an EP, putting them on the streaming lines, the numbers push when you add the promotion and then all that. But you and I will also testify, say when there are videos accompanying the songs that you put out there now, added that spice to it.
Sure.
The songs on Luna was here, have you been able to shoot the videos for it? And I say, what are the plans if not on here?
Basically, it was a 7-track EP, but initially, if you go deep into it, one was just an intro, so basically we say 6.
Okay.
I was able to shoot like 2 officials for it, and the rest was more like a content base, and the rest was an additional promotional, means for it. So basically, that was the things we were able to do. So the efforts that we have and the available resources is what we put into it. So basically, that was it.
What's the new project down the sleeves? It was Christmas festivities. As he said, Luna was released like a year ago, and album year 2025. What the track be about? And I said it's still the songs on the EP now.
2025, I have serious projects coming out, but one thing is, during the year, I was embarking on recording sections. So the whole year, I just only dropped a single. That was around November 14th. So basically now, I want to say a year by you can't drop nothing. So I gave up a tune called Oba. Oba, that was basically part of an upcoming EP. I'm hoping to drop probably maybe January onwards. It could change because I've done so many projects into the EP. But as time goes on, as we discuss it with the people around me, we decide on, because currently I can't even tell the next song I'll drop. You see that thing? So there are so many projects, but currently the only song I gave out in 2025 was Oba. That was it.
We having this conversation. I say your concentration, or you talk more about EPs and then albums. Between EPs, albums, and releasing singles, which one now? Becca said, it makes you feel you are you. When it EPs and albums, no more than releasing singles. So.
Seriously, when it EPs and album than to release more.
Is there a reason behind that?
For me, as an artist, I feel like if I'm able to bring out multiple EPs or albums, it tells like I've went in hard. Regularly, if you drop single songs, it's good. It builds up, you mean like your catalog and stuff like that. Help people to know you. But bringing out something like an EP or maybe an album tells a different story about it. It tells you're not basically focusing on just single patterns, but basically focusing on means that you can showcase maybe 4 or 5 songs solid enough for people to listen, because sometimes I want people to listen to the storyline, maybe the concept of the whole project I'm bringing. So basically, so once I drop a single track, I can say she EP man album and EP. I don't usually drop singles.
Okay.
If I drop a single, a part of an EP coming. It's mostly so called my catalog, single tracks are. Can we say the major project in the part of
it can EP or an album now.
Sanity.
Releasing or buy in November, as he said, the whole year now. On for track beyond my
it was even a year plus.
Okay.
A year plus since Luna was here, as I mentioned, and drop piece.
Okay.
The track semi and most of the ones that came out were basically features. The ones that are dead. So that was somewhere be a 2023 now. We have to drop them off.
Revamp it
and see, basically I wanted to bring something out for people to know. So I'm basically on a project, working on a series of projects that I know say definitely free next year. I'll be dropping it massively.
Release your budget. Now I wanted to ask, release your bar now. Those the core fans, the core people that listen to Opemsuo, what was the reaction like? They went like Aja. What the EP but 2 mine and one
It'll be quite to me with some I don't know people and I'll be like, oh, I'm working on so many projects. So initially the idea was not even to drop, but you can't go the year by without giving something out. So Oba was basically part of an EP and Amika Seveban. So I just wanted to give them a tip of it, or maybe some part of it for them to feel then he has a major project coming out, because you see the way I'm saying me and your man I'm me fascinating. But you say maybe BM is as well organized, well presented, because they be you don't improve with data. I say they be also with them sanity. So basically, even this EP in the camp I wanted to even look at how I'm going to even distribute to the people I want to give to, so that they can also assist me. And in doing so, it takes time. So basically, you have to go through those processes.
Okay. Obani did you bring your answer this? Did you feature anyone on it?
No, basically.
My next question comes from Busa said, who are producing you, but the pyramid didn't come here with a producer. Musa can answer with you. Who produce your bar?
Okay, so Oba initially Sambi TSB.
Okay.
Sambi TSB produced a song. It was just a normal vibe. I'm in the studio and I'm so Sambi. More sound the video, do not say that tournament here. On the some music, the recording section is more like what they had in the now because it's a
yeah.
So we can't intimate between us the sound is hard.
Okay.
It's in a sad yeah. So basically the sound was indeed hard. No, yes, it's hard, yeah.
Who feature will be on it and it's just you alone?
Solo.
Storyline is your day.
Storyline is basically to embrace or probably portray how a woman or maybe women are in our world, basically. So it's more like you giving an attribute to a personality, a woman, basically.
In short, massam na.
Yeah, massam. But where they ask who bonnet some.
And everything is all confirm man. Ti massam na. Inti about bunti wa na if bunti has a few words and all their sources. So welcome Mallow, and he calls this one Oba. Be the associate.
Yeah, basically, it was just a visualizer that is out with it. But basically, we are working on, because before say the whole project in everyone, we have to have an official video for it.
Okay.
That will come out maybe probably early January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, we in a Christmas song. What they my streaming platforms is a him fan and fan. Do you have a new platform? Of course, one answer is the old Mallow. Streaming platforms are using
the same old Mallow now across all streaming platforms.
Christmas, in as much as you'll be enjoying your songs that we have already with the new ones, so is there any event that you'd be gracing or personally doing in here, or by person might say for who na ya be grace here? People would also want to see you on stage, actually sing these songs that they hear with the melodies and everything.
Sure. Basically, most of the shows in the I think say bookings now on it.
Okay.
I yet to do an area, but if there are more to come, I'll let people know. But basically, I'm still in the studio recording.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be left out in the studio. Basically, I want to come out hard.
Okay.
See, the even as at yesterday midnight, I was at the studio recording. So that's one thing I think they should expect: more tracks, new vibe, new sounds.
Are there any collaborations we should also be expecting? Any link ups? Any
Currently, I'm working on link-ups and collaborations because mostly, Muslim songs and I don't feature people. But this time, I want to come up with something that puts other people's stuff on it, bringing new vibes. Because they see to use but if they hear something special on it, basically they will know. Then this is something you're expecting, or maybe they wouldn't even be expecting, but they'll feel comfortable with it. So.
And just so streaming platforms, and then also social media handles, so people can reach you out. There are more Lumba, some Caribbeans, and also they can have platforms, how we can connect with you.
So across all streaming platforms is Mallow. The walk and the normal walk and WALKER. Mallow MALLOW. So across all streaming platforms, even if you search it on Google directs you basically to all the streaming stores they are available for you to stream most of my songs there. Yeah.
Being a music creator yourself, being a music lover yourself, the legend is no more.
Yeah.
What is that one thing you'd always remember him for? Is it a song? Is it maybe a words be or kind? What is it that you'd remember, fondly remember about Daddy Lumba?
Okay, so me, one thing about Daddy Lumba, that's basically, if I'm supposed to talk about he being a legend, as an artist, I think one thing that we can learn from Daddy Lumba is his personal lifestyle. They are not living a life. Not on time like MP.
Yeah.
As an artist, I think sometimes it's better you lay low and do stuff basically for yourself, Emulating the way he lived his life, mostly when it comes to the iconic way and the music way, and I think it's best because my music only will be what say impuna and Tawantawa will be in Tema. So no will be a man country say yeah, or no
you never know. They won't make a
and one thing about him too is I feel like he was connected to some people we thought say I won't mean especially when I saw he sings a Sarkodia one pen, I was like, then he has connection with all these people. But initially, if you are behind that, you think, there's something like attention or something like that. So basically, I feel like there are a lot of things we can learn from him. But in as much as we learn in everything, we should learn to do what's like is right. Learn to have that kind of mutual connection with people because. Me from far back, I'm used to son, nobody was saying it, but you say, it wasn't different. Just not on pen on he doesn't want to, interfere with people's stuff and stuff like that. So I think that's one thing I could say about him. And another thing, the songs are good. And if you are talking about the legends that we have, I think he's the only person that many people maybe say, Obiti say, Nipati Trip say King Charles, playlist.
Nani Diabem.
We have people having big numbers in this country, but basically he's one of the person I would say so he did good with it. He reached a peak. What's your because maybe we need if you listen what's my I set some kind of peace for us to live on because and your bragging rights across you can't if you as an artist in the door so but which man can say me Daddy Lumba will be you see I didn't realm so I'm gonna say he did very well. And another thing too, last one, that is song way. Mama Mine
Mummy, the baby,
that song is very
I can't want to say, what's a mechanic? Who family Jesus?
I think that song is very deep, and we any part. Nah, like I think if you're a human being, you should listen to that song. If in case you can only understand the lyrics, listen to it and understand how life it is.
Nice one. Okay, that's it all by here is always your home anytime, any day, I know you be. So the brand new one out there is Mallow. He calls this one Opemsuo. Out there on all the streaming platforms and the Christmas bang and I the Ramon. Mallow out there. I remember Bunty, you wrap it up. You may not can. Anquanoma.
True.
Ye did bit me be I am in the swan near court. Charles could do for Sue. A month for daddy.
Daddy.
I saw the other one was me so 7 per ma. It's in BP Abon Tempa, Bianamiso, be domio, me brim and hoa, Miss Watio, can I jump on go nibe, a barefoot did no bro. Pim, coming to know.
You say, you may bossy and anchor. You know what? I tell you.
But
there's one unique thing about him. Anytime that you listen to his music, you hear it from a different perspective. And I said I will see Chiremu. Yebesa who be so besa be chere enyum kro na mu in a different way am wan so asatini baby. Now you say send your wo tie enyum na wo bete no no. Any obi nchire mu ode be ma na different.
At a point na amomo cheche enyum ko na me bofu. I was like, Munyani and tell you, because so funny has a head that what boxing me. Dynamic from an
very is legendary now. Ayana ya say nipa bi te saade nim de nyina eko. Ayana ya but all we can see say and say dey akwantu ni etu. Ya ba na eden ya yebekọ na yenkoyi mu no eno ya na ya asem me de kakra me kaifa no kakra na hilarious kakra na bill say omukọ no honom so mpese omone ne yeshow na omone papa ye dim komo mo se ebe no wa hin
I think some artists are
mo se ebe no wa hin so ebe no wa house okay mate any say mo ntonton mo ho nyoma nyina o na me de me ba me gi me de wi na me kọ na mo si o mate na mo se na opanyi ye de ayi beto so overian ponsa beto so bi o wase o me de me ne mo akasa wi na me kọ no mo sorry na mo kọ e ti wo say na be o se wakwa kudru ka some few weeks my program ya koso promotion koso ne ade omo ho na phone on ka do ka say telephone e ring no if I hello Abrante ona oba me ho na o ka say mo de me ko ye show no na na o say hwane ya na na da so no so for example o say munyini free so nya sa me mo
musika da je ho ha mo beje
munyini free so nya sa me mo you see is there say they see feeling say na oba mo wa hu the little videos and the little interviews are one shot and grant interviews baby but uti ni interviews bia amanfo nya kwan omone ne ye na uti de bia obetie bia unya futu sem ne bibi fofo I think is worth celebrating more than we are even doing now and he will always be a legend in our books and obia onya kwan etie no nwoma na obia onya kwan ne na share na sign one way or the other bia sua one or two be a friend honom na the excellence nyankopon ma no baby pa no mfa ne nkonkoto na dachi ankoma bia no yebesa ne na hia ho inkuduru honom no so de na ise o mount afro chela stage kase wasama do na ejina chire na yaji ani ho honom nyankopon fa ne crancy ye black
nyankopon fa da the crancy ye one thing about so am things say o be fa ne sem ko bo show a so imagine we stage ni so nto nyumu wie a susu ye rest assured esis kana wo de man no oba na ekura no o de ama obi kura na o de aba ho ti o ka se bi am nye dan bi obetimi atene mo asisi no hu ana bibi oba na eni ho e ho na otimi do sika na ma onyi musika na okone baby nti you could see say daddy had that love for the juma na wo ye ni shows no it wasn't about say una Oscar or be fan or tua ne kenti na say be the wo ye bi emfa kwam na wo ye da bi it would give you back your money na wo hwe say wa catch am for say that the Lumba ba now the crowd ya be gu ho na
daddy ama
where the ama for be
you na obepe me sin for moment
it no one na wo be go according to I think daddy lives on and he would live on. His music would even outlive him because because
there was a time when no cry but no say somebody is there and you know it's always going to be like that.
If I would introduce a musician to my yet to be born children, it would be Lumba's tracks. And for me, I think Ebekoso. Young fancy, the name still remains and your boy Sako Derek Moterali Osenka. He was our host today. I had to come in Kakrebi. Any kuku din komomate bontinka. DJsbase.com, DJ Kalisma Daruma, the music policy by him. DJ Simple. As I did the ones and twos live on Facebook. Remember, Monday to Friday, we'll be here from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. to bring your Sacrum Council